Hello again, friends and loyal WulffPack members. Chaos here with the Mighty Ducky, and welcome back to Zero to Hero, the series where we go from space crap-out pilot to hopefully one day God amongst the stars. Now, over the last couple of episodes, we've been trying to go and unlock Marco Qwent, the single most difficult engineer to unlock in the game. But we've finally done it. We've got allied with Sirius Core, we got the Sirius permit, we then got the mission to gain access to Marco Qwent himself, and we finally got the 25 modular terminals. And we got them all by ourselves. Alright, Commander, thank you very much for the goods. How much do I owe you for these 25 modular terminals?
No problem, Commander Ducky. You can have this one on me. Just pay it forward in the future. See you around, my friend. Fly safe.
Okay, awesome. Just remember, don't tell anybody about this. Like I said, completely by ourselves. But anyway, without further ado, we are here at Qwent Research Base. And as we can see, we'll go into the engineer's workshop. We can go and deliver our 25 modular terminals. There we go, we've got access to him finally. Now, all we've got to do is get him up to grade 3 1/3 to go and potentially unlock Palin. Now, there is a little bit of an issue there as well, is Palin does have a very specific meeting requirement, which is you have to have gone, I believe it is 3 or 5,000 light years away from your starting location. Oh, it's 5,000 light years from your starting location. So, we haven't done that yet, but we will. Now, what we want to do is see how many modifications we can go and roll out, because hopefully we can get this up to grade 3 1/3. I'm just hoping we've got enough materials. Right, discard that. We should be up to grade 2. Yes, we are. Question is, yes, we do have enough materials for grade 2s. 1, 2, 3. And again, discard. We're up to grade 3 now. So we only need to do one grade 3 roll. Here we go, we've got one here. But in fact, that's a... yeah, sure, why not? Oh, we got a message. What is this one? Information about Professor Palin. You've learned some information about a new engineer, Professor Palin. Please check your log for more details. Okay, so engineers. Where are we? Here we go. Professor Palin. Right now, as you can see, we don't have access to him just yet. So we do need to go and travel 5,000 light years. Well, this is going to be interesting. Now, I was umming and ahhing about how we were going to unlock Palin, but I've come to an idea, and what we're going to do is we're going to outfit a passenger exploration ship. So a ship that can travel a good distance. And what we're going to do is we're basically just going to take a long-range passenger mission. So we're going to go see how well that's going to work. First of all, though, we do need to go and set up a longish range passenger ship. I mean, the one we've got right now isn't terrible. If we have a look over, we've got a 35 light year jump range on this ship. But I know that we can get a ship with a better jump range. Even one that uses the same frameshift drive, because this is the frameshift drive we've got now is the one out of our third lance. So, what can we think of? Another ship with a class 4 frameshift drive? I think I've got an idea. And for what we want, we're coming here to Bessemer Terminal. I do like it when they give me the real landing pads. Well, it really depends what type of ships I'm flying. Large ships, I like to be docked at the back. Small ships, I don't really care where I'm docked. Well, the cutter, I love being docked at the back. But usually, whenever I'm docking anyway, the flight controller always seems to want to drop me right at the front of the station, so I've got to be very careful with getting myself slowed down quick enough. Right, first thing we want, enter hangar. Because the first thing that we want to do is we want to go and store the frameshift drive off of this ship. Because this is the modified frameshift drive from our Ferdinand. Now, the modification that we've got is actually a fairly good one, at least if I remember correctly. Let's have a look at the core internals. Here we go, modifications, optimized mass, 53.6%. So we've got a really good optimized mass. It's not quite as good as the one one of the ones I have on my main account. I've got a class 6 with a 55.55% increase, but this is really nice as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to store this module. There we are. So we've just got the standard stock module now, and that drops our jump range down to a little under 11 light years. That is our fully laden. That's our current, and that's our unladen, or whichever way it goes around. Yeah. Yeah, max current. Yep. That, I'm right. Okay. Good. So, that's good. I don't think we've got anything else on this ship that is modified. I don't think there's anything else we really want. So, yeah, sure. What ship are we going to go for is the question. There's only 15 available at this station, but one of them is the one we want. And how do I know this? I went and checked eddb.io. And here it is. We're going to go and get ourselves another Dolphin. And I do like these ships. What we want? I'm actually going to go and sell the Type 6, because we can always buy it again if need be. I don't like the idea of Ducky having way too many ships. Okay, so what do we want to do? First of all, we want to go and outfit this. First things first, we are going to go and drag the frameshift drive from the stored modules back into here. So stored modules. Why have I got an A-rated frameshift drive here? Oh, no, that's somewhere else. Okay, fine. Alright, transfer to ship. Transfer. And that's taken us already up to 34 light years worth of jump range. And that's with everything else still stock. So this is going to be interesting. Hard points, I'm actually just going to sell these. No point keeping any hard points on this thing right now. 2 small hard points, they're not going to do anything. Especially if a Thargoid comes and attacks us. And considering that the open beta for patch 2.4 has just closed down today, the day that I'm recording this, then that kind of goes to show that potentially we may be getting closer to seeing Thargoids on the live servers. So if that wasn't worrying enough... Now, for some reason, I was looking for heatsink launchers, and it doesn't seem like they sell them here. Alright, fair enough. Means I've got to go and buy them somewhere else then. Question is, does that mean that I'm going to have to worry about getting everything else elsewhere? But, oh well. We'll see what happens. It looks like I am, because they don't even sell a 2A power plant anymore. Alright, okay, so it looks like the information on this is a little bit out of date. Okay, so it looks like we may need to go and jump over to a different system, where this was all checked a little bit more recently. But that's fine. What we'll do is we'll see what else we can get first. So we want 4D thrusters. So let's see if we can find those. Yeah, we got 4Ds. We'll pick up what we can here. Frameshift drive sorted, life support, obviously we want D rated, so lightweight as much as we can. And already we're getting closer and closer to 40 light years worth of jump range. Power distributor, we want a 1A, I believe. Yes, we do. Because that should still be us being able to boost. Now the question is, actually, we maybe want a... I don't know, we could go for a 2D. That would increase our jump range by about 0.1 of a light year, but I don't think that's really needed. Sensors, again, D-rated sensors. Okay, optional internals, that's what we want. We've already got a class 5 economy class passenger cabin. Not sure if we want to keep the economy class or whether we want potentially a business class. I mean, passenger cabins, what else can we go? We could go for this one, which is 10 passengers, or we could go for this one, which is 6. Again, each of them are... They're all the same weight, so it doesn't affect us that way around, but we'll leave that for now. Now, on this one, we're going to want a fuel scoop, because we want the best fuel scoop that we can fit. The class 5 slot, though, however, is a limited slot. We can only fit a few things in there, as you saw. I mean, let's have a look again. Browse. Yeah, this is all we can fit in there. We can't fit anything else. We want a class 4 auto field maintenance unit as well. So yes, we are dropping... Oh, wait, so where are the auto field? Oh, there they are. That is what we want. We want one of these. Buying options. Exchange. Nice. Class 3. This is where we're going to put our shield. Shield generators. I always have to make sure that I'm getting shield generators, not shield cell banks, because I always seem to do that. I always seem to grab the wrong thing. Now, the class 2, what am I after here? Here, I want an advanced discovery scanner, I think it is. Browse shop, advanced discovery scanner. Those are going to be down the bottom, aren't they? Exceeds limits. Okay. Right, notice. I know why that is. I am after core internals. It's because the power plant's so heavy. Let's swap that down to a 3D for the time being. Alright, so back into the optionals. So again, browse shop. What? Oh, wait, no, I know what it is. I know what it is. It's because we've already got a discovery scanner on board, isn't it? Yep, I'm an idiot. So, stellar bodies, advanced discovery scanner. This one, we know what we want. Detailed surface scanner. And then this one here, what do we want? We want an SRV bay, in fact. Why do I want an SRV bay? Because I want to be able to pick up materials for synthesis, for frameshift jump boosts and so on. There we go. Now we're massively overpowered right now, but that's not a massive issue because we can turn off a bunch of things and we still need to go and pick up the power plant that we need. We need a 2A power plant. Because the 2A power plant generates 9.6 megawatts. We've only got about 9 at the moment, so we're only going to get 6 megawatts more. So that's basically the setup for our ship. Although, we still do have to go and paint it some sexy colours. Which one do I want to go for again? I don't remember. I think it was this one, the Orange Wayfarer. Because I think the Yellow Wayfarer is a little bit too bright. Yeah, it is. So, Orange Wayfarer. Lovely little ducky ship. Not going to worry about the weapon detailing because we don't have any. Now the question is, where? There they are. Engine detailings. And I think we'll name the ship Lucky Duck Cruises. Ship ID, not too worried about that one. But let's go and put some little names on there. What I'm thinking... Yep, that looks nice. Make it look like a proper little business ship. That's gorgeous. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And you know what? We can't go without having our little dashboard figurine, can we? But the question is, where the hell do I want to put it? There we go. Sweet. All good. Quite happy. Now we've got to set fire groups and turn off some things now. So, what do I want to turn off first? Obviously the AFMU. Where the hell's that? Yeah, because that thing is ridiculously... got ridiculously too much power on it. Point of vehicle hangar, cargo hatch. I don't think we need the cargo hatch. Fuel scoop. Everything else is good. Right, okay. Now question. We seem to have enough power already, but we've got a 3D power plant. The question I have is whether the 3D power plant is going to be lighter than the 2A. No, it isn't actually. The 2A is 0.7 tons lighter. So we'll get a little bit more jump range off it. But what have we got now? We've currently got a 41.31 light year jump range. But I think we'll see if we can push that just that little bit further. Now we are going to have to visit another system to go and grab that 2A power plant because it doesn't seem to be here. It's supposed to be, but according to this place, it's been checked within the last hour. Right, okay, so that should be exactly the only place we need to go. Now the thing is, I do think that 16 passenger cabin is probably a little bit on the excessive side. Considering that we're only going to be wanting one, maybe two long-range trips. One, more than likely. Obviously only one, actually, come to think of it. Because we don't have any more cabins. We've only got the one. And VIPs, which are usually the ones that want to go long distance, they generally don't like to share the cabins with anybody else. Now, what I was hoping is that by the time Ducky was going to have to go and make this trip, that 2.4 would have already dropped. That would have been nice, because unless you're living under the rock, you probably already know even that in 2.4 we're getting some quality of life changes, especially around the galaxy map, meaning that we're going to be able to plot routes of up to 20,000 light years at a time. Right now we're limited to only 1,000 light years, which is fine. It's workable, but it's not 20,000 light years. I mean, 20,000 light years, you can plot a route to Jack Station in just 2 routes, two bits. Because Jack Station is 22,000 light years out. So yeah, it's very nice. It's very kind of good to have. But I guess we'll have to see what's happening. I'm pretty sure Ducky might still be... Actually, Ducky might even get back before then. Whereas what I'm thinking of doing is just streaming Ducky exploring, maybe on Wednesday. Because she just needs to get this done as soon as possible, really. But Ali Dock here, this is again in Lyon Gris Space. The reason I like coming to Lyon Gris Space is in order to buy ships and upgrade them, is at the very least the outfitting of your ship is done at a 15% discount, which is really great to keep your rebuy down. So this is where I buy most, if not all, of my ships these days. The main bee I've got in my bonnet about this, though, is that Lyon Gris Space is really easy to get to. Well, relatively speaking. Sometimes it's a bit of a pain in the butt to find the station that sells everything you want. Sometimes you may be required to fly around to different stations to fully outfit a ship. But I'm happy to do that little bit of hardship if it means that I don't have to... If I didn't have to get Elite to get to Shinrata Desra. Because Shinrata Desra also offers a discount, but only it's 10% there. So, what gets me is it takes a lot of work to get to Elite, and as a reward you get access to Shinrata Desra that sells absolutely everything. So you get, in James Memorial, you get all ships, all modules, everything. But they're at only a 10% discount. Lyon Gris Space, they're a little bit more spaced out. You've got to fly around to find what you want, or just use EDDB.io or something similar to find out where you need to go to get all your upgrades to your ship. But that's 15% discount. And you don't have to do anything for this. Anybody can get it. You don't even have to be associated with Lyon Gris. I just don't get it, and I don't like it. I really think that these two things should be swapped. I think that Founders World should be 15% discount and Lyon Gris should be 10%. Because Founders World is a lot more difficult to get access to. But anyway, I digress. Let's go and upgrade this last bit of the ship. I mean, I'm trying to decide whether or not I should try and do some more modifications to the ship. The main issue is, as well, as I don't remember what engineers we have access to. I mean, I know we've got the Dweller, so we could go and modify power plant 2A. There we go. So we get more jump range and more power. I'm happy with that. That works for me. Oh, wait. And we also need potentially heatsink launchers, because I forgot that we didn't have them. So, oh, no, wrong one. Ah! We want both the top ones. Okay, browse, heatsink launchers, heatsink launchers. God damn it, why didn't you sell heatsink launchers either? I completely forgot to look for them, didn't I? You know, I'd forget my own head if it wasn't screwed on. But turns out we've got to go to another system for this. This is exactly what I mean with Lyon Space. Is you've got to do a little bit of legwork in order to get what you want. And Schrödinger gateway. Oh, wait a sec. No. We need to plot a route there. Now, Schrödinger gateway, I generally come here fairly often with a bunch of different ships to pick up, to basically outfit my ships here. But then again, there are a bunch of other systems as well. I mean, one of the best ones is a system called HARM, so H-A-R-M. And last I checked, that's the only place to buy in Lyon Space where you can buy a cutter. So you can buy a cutter at a 15% discount, which is absolutely insane. So the more expensive the ship, the more money you're going to be saving. I mean, Anacondas, Corvettes, and all this, that are really nice to get the discount on. But the cutter is like this, the single best ship to buy at discount because of just how much money you're saving. It's ridiculous. And like I said, it's not exactly difficult to be able to know where you need to go to get the upgrades from Lyon. Just as long as you know how to use eddb.io, you can pretty much just find whatever the hell you need for your ship whenever you want it. Now, admittedly, it may be a few jumps to get there, and it may be a bit of a pain in the butt doing it with a smaller ship. Well, not a smaller ship, but a ship with a lower jump range, because the extra jumping might be a pain in the butt. But this is usually why, when I'm buying ships and modifying them out, the first thing I ever do is modify the frameshift drive. It just makes the following process so much easier. Because I've often been asked, Chaos, what's the best way of modifying your ship? What should I focus on first? Frameshift drive. Always, always, always the frameshift drive. Because if you're going to be modifying that one ship, then it's going to make it so much easier to modify that one item, because every other engineer jump after, every little trip after is going to be so much less painful. Unless you are planning to... Well, even if you're planning to just put all the modules on one ship, a different ship, and just jump around and modify them, that would, like, maybe with an Anaconda or something. Like, if you want to modify all the main core internals of a Corvette, without having to jump the Corvette around, you just drop them in an Anaconda, because an Anaconda has the exact same core internals. I mean, the only exception, obviously, is the bulkheads, because bulkheads are ship-specific. But by then, you'll have a grade 6 modified frameshift drive, which you can drop in your Corvette, and it should make jumping to the system for modifying your bulkheads so much less painful. And whilst we're on the subject of bulkheads, what are the best modifications for bulkheads to give you the best protection possible? I mean, it really depends on which bulkheads you're going for, but the best protection you can possibly get in the game is the... Oh, I'm going a bit too fast. Is the kinetic resistance. The kinetic resistance armor, what's it called again? The reactive surface composites, those ones. Getting those and modifying them for grade 5 thermal resistance, preferably trying to get the best rolls you can get, or getting some really good rolls on that, because what that'll mean is that without any change to your mass or anything, you literally have all your resistances set to positive numbers, because every single bulkhead in the game has some negative resistances on them. Usually they have a massive negative resistance to explosives, but the kinetic resistance, the reactive surface composites don't. the only thing that changes is that you've got negative resistance to thermal and positive resistance to kinetic. But when you modify for thermal resistance, it basically sets everything to really, really high. Now, for lightweight alloys, whatever, just go for heavy duty. Because it's not going to change the weight, because the mass in-game for the lightweights is set to basically 0, so you're never going to get a mass increase. If you're going for military-grade composites, it really depends. But at the end of the day, not everybody can afford reactive surface composites, and not everyone wants to go flying around with lightweights. The reinforced are okay, but they're only usually like a... if you haven't got enough money for the military grades or the reactive surface composites. But military grade, they've got negative resistances as well of... Actually, let's enter the hangar while we're talking about this. They've got minus 40% explosive resistance and minus 20% kinetic resistance. Now, not that many people are using explosives, so maybe you want to go for... I don't know. Actually, I don't know. Kinetic resistance might not be an idea, actually, because that'll reduce your thermal resistance. So, I don't know. Maybe just general heavy duty. The only issue to that is it's going to be making your ship heavier. So, it really depends what you want. But anyway, we're here now, so let's go and pick up our last module that we need, that I've been flying around everywhere trying to find. There you are, you cheeky little heatsink launchers hiding from me all this time. There we go. So that's 2 brand new heatsink launchers, all ready to go, and only going to be used if we really need them. Now the question is my power still below 100%? It is, in fact. We're only at 90% power. I mean, theoretically I can turn the cargo hatch on. So if we find any materials out in the middle of nowhere, we can still scoop them. But the question still remains, where are we going to go to get our passenger missions from? I mean, here we've only got a couple, but I think what we might want to do is head back to Procyon, potentially, for the simple fact that we're allied here. And not only this, but they do have a tourism station right here. Because as you can see, look, economy, tourism. And I've seen quite a few long-range missions here. So let's head over there and see what we can find. But again, I mean, let's have a look at the outfitting, see if we've got any more cabins here. So, optional internals. Let's go for some business cabins, just on the off chance that we... There we go, passenger cabins. Luxury is 4. First class cabins is 6. Business is 10. Let's go for some business cabins, because 16 is way too many people, I think. And at the very least, we are basically hedging our bets right now. The worst thing is going to happen now is if we go there, we find some rich explorer that wants to go out somewhere, but they insist on having first class cabins. That is going to be such a killer right there. That's going to be really horrible. But oh well, let's go and see what we can find. Whoa. Wow. Going where? Yeah, this thing's really light. I could not turn that then for some bizarre reason. I just carried on going straight. I was using my... I was literally using my manoeuvring thrusters trying to move me up, and it just wasn't working. Good thing we've got some shields on this thing, isn't it? But anyway, how many jumps we got back to Procyon? Only 3 jumps back to Procyon. Okay, so not far. You know, it's usually the ducky landings that people start taking the mickey out of. Right here, it's a ducky takeoff. Oh boy. Now, going back to what we were talking about with the bulkheads, I do think it's a bit weird that the lightweight alloys are classed in-game as 0 tons. Because, like I said, you can put heavy-duty modifications on them to give you some more resistances and some more hull boost. Basically just hull protection, hull health. Without gaining any weight at all. So I really do think that the alloys should really constitute a certain amount of the percentage weight of your ship, or so on. So that, let's say, the Dolphin has a hull mass of 140 tons. Fair enough, but you're telling me that the hull mass is 140 tons, yet the lightweight alloys weigh nothing. I think this needs to be addressed a little bit, so that the... Because let's have a look. On the Dolphin, let's carry on with this one. The reinforced alloys, going to this one, that jumps straight from 0 tons to 32 tons, up to military grade, up to 63. Mirrored surface 63, and reactive surface is 63. So you can see that's some really big jumps there in armor weight. What I think should happen is potentially all the types of armor should be to have their weight increased potentially by about X amount of tons, but have the hull mass reduced by the same X amount of tons, and that X amount of tons should be the weight of the should be how much the lightweight alloys weigh. Because that way around it'd be way more realistic, because then the lightweight alloys will actually weigh something, and then they could actually get benefits from lightweighting lightweight alloys. I mean, yes, it may not be the most ideal thing to do potentially, because you'd be getting even less resistances and so on, but you could get a weight reduction out of them as well. And this would really help explorers and traders just squeeze that little bit extra jump range out of their ships. And overall, the overall performance of the ship would not change at all, because overall they'd still be the same weight. It would just be that the weight would be distributed differently stat-wise. But this is just my view on this. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments, because I really think that it's daft that the lightweight alloys are classed as 0 tons. So you can modify them for heavy duty and not gain any weight because of this, just the weird way that Frontier decided to implement this. But, oh well, this is just my 2 cents on the matter. I mean, let's say for the sake of completionism, and just me getting my point across completely 100% clearly, the lightweight alloy should really be around about maybe 5–10% of the hull mass of the ship. So let's say 5%, because I think that sounds a bit more realistic. In that case, the hull of the Dolphin wouldn't be 140 tons. We'd knock that down to 133 tons, so 7 tons off, which is 5% of the total weight. Add that 7 tons into the lightweight alloys, so the lightweight alloys we classed as 7 tons. But also increase all the other alloys, the reinforced alloys and the military grade composites, by 7 tons as well, to offset the reduction of the hull mass as well. So what this would do, it'd be, overall, if you didn't modify your ship ever, you would never notice any difference to your ship. But if you're modifying the lightweight alloys, or even modifying the heavyweight alloys, you'd notice it a little bit more. Heavy dutying, sorry, the alloys would make you that little bit heavier, but also lightweighting would make you that little bit lighter. And doing this, it'll allow you to have a modified lightweight alloy that you'd actually notice the difference weight-wise, which I think would make sense. But again, I've gone on about this long enough. In fact, I've talked about this for about 10,000 light seconds. So let's go and get ourselves set down and find out what we are looking for here. I mean, well, I know what we're looking for here. We're looking for a long-range exploration mission. Thankfully, we're allied with the controlling faction of the station, so potentially we may find a really nice mission. Now, we are going to pad 1, which is this one here. Now, I really like this station. Alright, let's actually, you know what, let's have a quick look inside. As you can see, it's got an Eagle showroom in that. Eagle and Cobras. It's a little showroom. Look at it, that's awesome. Oh, wrong button. Oh no, those aren't my lights. I thought they were my headlights on. So they've got Eagles and Cobras and stuff on show. They've even got an Anaconda in there. How the hell do you have an Anaconda inside a small station like this? Obviously just like that. So it's it's an awesome little showroom. This is a Core Dynamics showroom, but for some reason it's a tourism station. Okay, I'm fine with that. Maybe it's like a museum or something, and I need to get my landing gear back out again, don't I? There we go. Okie dokie, let's see. Can we find anything that is going to suit our needs? So, passenger lounge. Because we are allied. We've got... we've not got anything that's... We've got one that have a 1,000 light years, so we haven't got anything really interesting. I mean, there we go. We've got 23,000 there. Naturally, first class cabins. Typical. Earth-like twins. How far is that, though? 18,000 light years. No, thank you. I mean, the 23,000 is... 23 million even. So, like 24 million on top of that is actually quite nice. And considering that we're going to be exploring on the way as well, is really going to kind of pick up and increase the amount of earnings we're going to be getting from this. But there's nothing here at the moment, so I'm going to keep looking. But I suspect that's going to be it for this video. I'm going to keep looking just quickly. No. Anything here? No. Okay, so we just got to go and wait and have a look around. But that's going to be it for this video. I do hope you guys have enjoyed it. Like the video if you've liked it, dislike it if you didn't, and if you did like it, please do consider subscribing to the channel. You can come and join our community on Facebook or Anara, links are in the video description. I've been Commander Chaos Wolf from Sci-Fi Gaming. You guys, as always, have been epic. I will see you soon, and until next time, my fellow commanders, keep flying and stay shiny.